You might not care about both of these things, so what I'm going to do is in the description of the video, I'm going to put links in the description so you could skip to the parts that you actually care about. If you have an older Ford Ranger and you're sick of that door chime, or your truck is making a bunch of other weird beeping noises, hopefully this video will give you some much needed reprieve. I've owned 3 Ford Rangers in my lifetime. I had a 99 that I bought brand new when I was 19 years old. I had a 2007, and now I have an old 95 Ranger, and I've always hated the door chime. Especially when you go off-roading, you'll often open the door and you'll want to look around and see what's going on, and that door chime just keeps going ding, 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 and it doesn't want to shut up ever. Another example, last week I was playing around with the toe alignment on the truck because my passenger side tire was doing this, and so I was trying to adjust it, and so I was out there adjusting the tie rods, and then I would drive forwards and backwards, and then I'd go check it again, make some adjustments, drive it forward and backwards, check it again, and all this time I either had to deal with having to shut the door or have to deal with that annoying ding, 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 ding. And I know some people too who have complained about the door chime just going off for no reason and staying on and not wanting to stop. And so I've been wanting to get rid of that sound forever, but I kept putting it off because I have other things I want to work on until last video that I made for the Ranger. And if you haven't seen that, I'm going to post a link to it up here so you could watch that and get caught up. In that last video, I made my life a whole lot worse. That video I did a couple things. I installed an aftermarket horn, and I also swapped out the bulbs in the instrument cluster. And while I was in there, I decided, well, you know what? My airbag light keeps blinking at me, and the other fix that I tried before didn't really help, so I'm just gonna pull the light bulb. Sounds reasonable, right? So a little bit of backstory. My truck has an aftermarket steering wheel, which means it doesn't have an airbag. So in a much older video, I showed you how to use a resistor to trick the truck into thinking that the airbag was still there. And for whatever reason, and when it gets cold, the resistor wasn't doing anything to help that situation. So the airbag light would just keep blinking at me, and it was super, super annoying. So I was like, I'm just gonna pull the bulb and that will solve the problem, right? Wrong. The next day I'm driving around the truck and all of a sudden it goes beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, whoa, I've never heard that sound before. So I pull over and I'm sitting there trying to figure out what that was. And so I turned the truck off, turned it back on, started driving. It was fine for a little bit. And then randomly that beep, beep, beep just keep going, and it's kind of got me scared. So I looked on the old Ranger forums, and apparently that is the truck telling you that the light bulb for the airbag has either burnt out or, in my case, is missing. So I thought I was making my life a little bit easier because I was too lazy to fix the resistor. So I pulled the bulb and I ended up making it more work for myself. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to fix that airbag problem. So maybe you actually legitimately have a burnt out bulb for the airbag thing, and this is going to help you. Or maybe you're just an idiot and took out the bulb not knowing that that would have bad consequences. So that's what we're going to do first. And we're also going to get rid of the door chime sound. So we're going to start with the airbag light. We have to disassemble the instrument cluster area again. And if from my last video, if you saw that video, you saw that I probably made my life a little bit harder here because I hardwired the horn switch to that dash piece. So we're going to correct that by adding some spade connectors to make it more serviceable for next time, and then we'll dive into replacing that light bulb. To get started, remove the radio trim piece. Again, my truck doesn't have the screws in there anymore, nor does it have a radio, so it's super easy for me. Just pull back and disconnect the cigarette lighter. While I'm here, I'm going to cut the wires and install some spade connectors to make it easier to service next time. By the way, these Harbor Freight automatic wire strippers are hot garbage. I'd suggest investing in a better quality tool. After removing the 4 bolts holding down the instrument cluster, I decided to not struggle with the plastic connectors on the back and just tilted the cluster up a little. There's enough room to get to the bulb that way. The small warning lights use a size 74 mini bulb. Like an idiot, I threw away my old one when I pulled it out of the dash. This little package of 2 costs $6. Reinstall the new bulb and make sure the warning light goes through its initial check when you turn the key on the truck. Then reassemble the dash. Since I was in there, I decided to move the ground wire for the horn over to the factory ground location, which I didn't know existed until after I'd finished this project last time. It's much nicer tucked further back. I then connected my new spade connectors. One final check. No more high-pitched beeping. I also added another resistor on the airbag wire, and the airbag light hasn't come back on since. Using a 7mm socket, remove the 2 screws holding on the top dash vent. Be careful not to drop the screw like I did. Thankfully, the screw fell straight through. That's one of the perks of no interior. You can use a magnetic tool like this to catch the screw after it's loose. Lift the top vent up and back. To the left, there is a black box with a circuit board inside. Remove the plastic connector on the side and open the plastic door. The board comes out real easy. Disconnect the connector on the bottom and remove. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see if the truck would still start and run without the board. It does. I'm not exactly sure what the rest of the board controls, but I don't want to mess with it more than I have to. This little round thing is the source of all your audio displeasure. It's connected to the board by 2 soldering points. You can gently heat up the soldering points to melt the tin, or you can snip the backside of the connector and gently twist the thing off with some vice grips. Reinstall the circuit board. Reinstall the upper dash vent. Reinstall your stereo and trim piece. And enjoy the sheer beauty of silence. It's amazing how such a tiny piece of plastic can cause so much annoyance and stress. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more Ranger content. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.